Okay, today continuing part 2 of reading my notes app in the past 30 minutes since on my balcony, because this is when I get my most profound insights, truly, truly, and it's always in my notes. Okay, so continuing, I think number 5, I'm too old for bad sex. Yep. Yep. I think that one requires no context or information. I've just truly been through enough as a woman where I feel like I am too old for bad sex. I'm just not. No, you're not putting me through that again. You know what I mean? Absolutely not. I have way too much self-respect, self-worth. I have also experienced, and I feel like once you've experienced you can't go back to the shitty shit. Do you know what I mean? I just could never do that to myself again. Absolutely not. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that, okay? And maybe I'm not that old, but I am for that, okay? And in a lot of other ways, I'm too old. Ugh, anyway, just don't. Okay, the next one. I'm not a fresh American. I'm a retired American. That one requires my entire life story, and we're not going to get into that because that's pretty fucking long. I will release a book one day. But basically, I grew up in America from the age of 4 to 12, and then I had to leave, against my will, but not in, a forceful kidnapping kind of way, just, had to go. I was young. And then since 12 years old, I haven't lived in America. But I still have an American accent. A lot of things about me are American, but a lot of things have also been wiped away from me. I've, unlearned and released. So, parts of me are American, other parts are not. And I always think of actual Americans that come from America currently, and when I hear them with their accents, they're very sharp. They don't have my accent is not that American, and I've gotten this from a lot of people. And when I hear Americans that are coming from America, I think of them as fresh Americans. And then today I had that thought about fresh Americans, and then I thought I'm not a fresh American because I haven't lived there in a long time, and my accent isn't as specific, potent, I would say. So then I thought I'm a retired American if I'm not a fresh one. I don't even know. I don't even. Okay, next one. Well-known yapper. Okay, I like this one. So this is basically, I think, what I want my career and my life's purpose to be, is just to be a well-known yapper, just to yap and yap and yap. Because honestly, I have so many things to say. Although I don't like talking to people. It's really a conundrum. I think I just don't have the ability to talk small talk anymore. I'm just no, my thoughts are too complex. The things I have to say are way too important, even though half of them sound ridiculous and stupid and just why are you even saying this out loud? And trust me, I know it. But I think it's still valid, as opposed to having small talk about the weather and dumb shit that doesn't matter. I can't do that. I literally retract and go inward, and I'm just sitting there people think I'm miserable when really I just can't be bothered to talk. But when I talk about the things I want to talk about with the people I want to talk about it with, I am a yapper. Yappadoodle-doo. And honestly, I feel that would be I guess it's technically a podcast host, well-known yappers. What's her name? Alex Cooper is a well-known yapper. I think that's what, my path is. God, I can't with myself. Okay, second to last, you gotta be I'm on the edge of my own video. You gotta be flirtatious with life. I think this one speaks for itself, but something I realized about whenever I go out and socialize with people that I can't socialize with, or with people that I can and I need a little bit of help. But generally when I'm socializing, I'm really good at just being very flirtatious with not only men that I'm interested, because it's usually never even the case. I don't find many men attractive or that interesting, but I just like flirting with people. I feel I'm very more flirtatious just in my conversation. I'm really just not taking anything seriously. I'm not putting anyone on a pedestal. I'm not behaving so professionally and maybe maturely, but it's nothing disrespectful. It's nothing childish. It's nothing insulting or difficult. It's just plain old good time fun, just banter. I'm bantering with life. I'm bantering with people. I'm flirting with it all, and I think that's how you can really enjoy life and enjoy human conversations and relationships, is to just be more flirtatious. Because I think the similarities between flirting and just living life is that both require a lot of risk if you want to get the thing that you're going after, and a lot of times the risk could end up not leading you to the thing that you thought you were going to get or what you wanted. With flirting, you take the risk of talking to somebody, but they could end up not interested or in a relationship or whatever, but you still took that risk, and at least you now know. And the same thing goes with life. If you take the risk, you could end up like failing, but at least you know, and you learn something different, and it guides you in another direction. That is usually where you're meant to go. Versus if you don't take any risks and you just sit in the same place, like, what? Anyway, that was a whole motivation thing. Okay, last one. I'm just gonna do that. Social lube. What is this angle? Social lube. That's my favorite. That's not even, I didn't even think of that or said that. Those angles were probably crazy. But no, my friend told me this the other day when I was telling her a story of how I went out and was like very conversational with like a lot of people, and was again being very, very like flirtatious with life and flirtatious with the people. And I was trying to find the word to like explain how I was, because I don't think I'd come up with like flirtatious with like life and people and conversations or whatever. And she just said like, you were the social lube. And I started laughing. I was like, oh my god, I'm writing that down. Like, no, I wrote it down tonight when I was on my balcony, but she told me it yesterday, and then I just forgot to write it down in my notes, because usually I would capture like really genius things like that. So yeah, I am social lube a lot of the times. I think that's like another really good way to like think of it. If it doesn't make sense to you when I say it, like, think of like personality hires at jobs. They're not actually hired for the personality, but they end up being the personality at the job. And I feel like that means you're like social lube, like you're socially lubricated. Let's just maybe just say social lube or no lube at all.